jet man. Look at him go. He has used this jetpack to fly over the Grand Canyon and over the Swiss Alps.
A man flies between Tokyo's skyscrapers, not by plane or drone, but a silent, sleek jetpack. This isn't science fiction. It's Japan's revolutionary hybrid tech, and it's leaving US and Chinese engineers speechless. What powers this machine is a game changer. The future of flight is here, and it's unfolding fast. Stay tuned. What you're about to discover will absolutely blow your mind. The race to defeat gravity. Humans have always dreamed of flying, from Da Vinci's strange sketches of flying machines to comic book heroes like Iron Man. The idea of personal flight has captured our imagination for centuries. But the real race began in the 20th century, when countries started investing serious money into making jetpacks a reality. The goal was simple: get a person off the ground without wings or rotors. What followed was decades of trial, error, and expensive experiments. During the Cold War, the US military poured millions into building the first jet belts. These early designs were heavy, dangerous, and could only fly for 20 to 30 seconds. Pilots had to wear bulky suits and carry tanks of fuel on their backs just to hover for a few meters. The technology was more of a stunt than a solution. Still, it proved one thing: personal flight was possible, just not practical yet. Fast forward to the present, and the world has seen a new wave of jetpack experiments, this time from individuals, not just governments. In China, a man named Liu Dongsheng built his own working jetpack and became a viral sensation. His flight was loud, raw, and short-lived, but it showed how far DIY inventors had come. The problem? It lacked control, safety, and precision, traits needed for anything beyond entertainment. The US has also seen progress, especially from jetpack aviation. Their JB-10 and JB-11 models use turbojet engines, reaching speeds of up to 160 kilometers per hour and flying for up to 10 minutes. But these machines are noisy, burn lots of fuel, and require strong physical fitness to handle. They're not yet practical for daily use, emergency missions, or urban travel. It's clear the focus has been on speed and power, not usability. While the US and China chased headlines, Japan took a different path. Instead of racing for attention, Japanese engineers focused on balance, control, and clean design. They looked at how to make flights safer, quieter, and more stable, even in busy environments. Their goal wasn't to go viral or win defense contracts. It was to master the machine and make flying as natural as riding a bike. Here's something most people don't know. Japan's early work on drone stabilization tech became the foundation for its new jetpack systems. While others aimed for force, Japan worked on flight control. The idea was simple: if a machine can stay steady, it can go anywhere. That small shift in thinking made a big difference. It set the stage for what would shock the world later. Japan's new jetpack isn't louder or faster. It's smarter, lighter, and more advanced than anything from the US or China. The Japanese jetpack that changed everything. Japan's game-changing jetpack is called Project Yama. It was built by a small Tokyo startup working with Kyoto University's aerospace lab. Unlike anything we've seen before, this jetpack lifts off in total silence and reaches full hover in just 2 seconds. It uses a hybrid electric propulsion system, a world first in the jetpack space. And that's exactly why global engineers are watching it so closely. At the core of this machine are 2 microturbines paired with a magnetic thrust stabilizer. This stabilizer replaces the usual fin controls seen in older jetpacks, offering smoother, faster adjustments mid-air. Its system makes automatic corrections 60 times every second, keeping the pilot balanced even in windy conditions. That kind of control has never been seen before in a personal flying device. It's more like a drone system wrapped around a human. The frame is made from a carbon titanium weave, which is lighter and stronger than any material used in the JB-10 or similar models. This helps reduce weight while improving durability, which is critical in high-speed flight. It also protects internal systems from vibration and heat. The total unit, including the battery and turbines, weighs just 68 kilograms. That's light enough for most adults to wear with minimal strain. Performance numbers are equally impressive. The Jetpack flies for up to 9 minutes, hits speeds of 180 kilometers per hour, and can climb to 1,000 meters. Noise levels are lower than a standard motorcycle, which makes it possible to use in urban areas without causing a scene. It's also small enough to land in tight spaces, like rooftops or city streets. One test even showed the pilot hovering still above a moving platform, like a drone, but with a human on board. One of the most important breakthroughs is its emergency fail-safe system. If one engine cuts out, the other adjusts automatically to keep the pilot stable and bring them down safely. This is a massive upgrade from other models, which often lose control during a failure. It's the first time a jetpack has included full engine redundancy in such a compact form. This alone makes it a strong candidate for rescue operations and disaster response. Other systems shut down. This one adapts. A hidden feature not widely known is that Project Yama includes modular swappable packs. That means a user can quickly change battery modules or turbine units in the field. This opens the door for continuous use in high-demand settings, like mountain rescue or emergency medics reaching hard-to-access areas. It's the kind of design flexibility that military and medical teams could use without delay. No other jetpack right now offers that level of service-ready configuration. While most countries chase military contracts or viral flight videos, Japan focused on building something reliable, quiet, and smart. The team behind Project Yama designed it for daily tasks, not just showmanship. Their goal was real-world use, especially in places where helicopters can't reach. From its materials to its control system, every part of this jetpack was built with a purpose. And now it's showing the world what the future of flight really looks like. Shock and silence from the west and east. The first test flight of Project Yama didn't just impress, it caused quite a panic in rival tech circles. At a recent tech expo in Shenzhen, several Chinese engineers were spotted rewatching the leaked Japanese demo on loop. Word spread quickly, and soon aerospace groups in Beijing were reviewing the footage frame by frame. What they saw wasn't just smooth, it was silent, stable, and years ahead of their own systems. The surprise wasn't that Japan had built a jetpack. It was that no one saw it coming. In Washington, defense insiders say engineers at DARPA requested a full breakdown of Project Yama's thrust control software. Their focus wasn't on the turbines or the build, but on the AI system that keeps it flying in hard conditions. Jetpacks have always struggled with mid-air balance and reaction time. Yama's system doesn't just react, it predicts motion and adjusts 60 times per second. That level of control stunned even US developers who've worked on jetpack programs for over a decade. Jetpack Aviation in California, known for the JB series, had been leading the field until now. But behind closed doors, their team admitted that Japan's model solved stability and redundancy in ways they hadn't cracked. On social media, experts compared the JB-10's heavy frame and fuel burn to Yama's light hybrid system. Many in the US aerospace community called it a major shift, with one voice labeling Yama as the Tesla of jetpacks. Not faster, just smarter, quieter, and better built. China's tech forums also lit up. Hundreds of posts compared Liu Dongsheng's homemade prototype to the clean execution of the Japanese design. Some even joked that his machine looked like a firework next to a spaceship. What really hit hard was the safety demo. Project Yama didn't just fly, it recovered perfectly from engine failure. That kind of feature changed public opinion fast. Users stopped asking, "How does it fly?" and started asking, "Why didn't we build this first?" Adding to the shock was Japan's early move on global patent filings. Months before the public test, Japanese engineers had already submitted protections for core elements of the Yama system, including its AI, stabilization, and modular build. This move locked out rivals from copying key parts of the design. While the US and China had been chasing jetpack records, Japan secured ownership of the next generation. That caught governments, companies, and investors completely off guard. One detail that hasn't been widely reported is Japan's silent collaboration with European testing labs. Sources reveal that select hardware trials took place in wind tunnels in Germany, under neutral contracts. This allowed the team to simulate flight conditions that don't exist in Japan, giving their AI models even more real-world data. While other countries worked in public view, Japan perfected its system in private. The shock isn't just in the results, it's in how quietly and completely they got it right. Inspired by Hawks, born from rescue drone tech, Japan's jetpack flies with nature's secrets built into its core, the secret that made it possible. Behind Project Yama is Dr. Satoshi Kimura, a former drone propulsion researcher with a quiet but brilliant career. He wasn't part of any military group or defense program. Instead, he led a small team working on rescue drones after the Fukushima disaster. That work focused on how machines could fly into tight, dangerous spaces with precision and safety. Years later, those same principles became the base for Japan's most advanced jetpack. Unlike most flight engineers who start with engines, Kimura started with birds. His team used high-speed 3D cameras to study hawks in flight, capturing how they moved through wind, turned mid-air, and reacted to sudden changes. What they learned was simple but powerful. Birds don't just push forward, they adjust in real time to stay balanced and efficient. The team used this data to build an airflow system that mimics those same reactions. It allowed the jetpack to fly like a living thing, not just a machine. This system, called bio-inspired airflow modulation, adjusts thrust based on air pressure and movement, just like feathers do in flight. If the wind shifts or turbulence kicks in, the pack shifts power instantly to balance itself. That level of control doesn't come from brute force. It comes from understanding motion on a natural level. That's what sets Project Yama apart. It doesn't just fly, it adapts. The biggest breakthrough came when they applied lessons from Fukushima drones to human flight. Those early rescue drones had to stay stable near broken buildings, where GPS failed and debris was everywhere. To solve that, Kimura's team created a smart balance system using internal sensors instead of outside signals. That same system now powers the Yama jetpack, allowing it to stay upright even in tricky environments. It's a direct link from disaster relief to personal flight. What most people don't realize is that this jetpack wasn't designed for the battlefield. It was meant for emergencies. Imagine reaching a mountain hiker trapped on a cliff, or flying into a collapsed city block to carry supplies. Helicopters are too large for that. Drones can't carry enough weight. But a human pilot in a stable, quiet jetpack? That changes everything. There's also an overlooked feature. The Yama design includes foldable components for storage in small rescue vehicles. The wings and frame can collapse without tools, allowing it to be packed into standard gear crates. This feature wasn't made for air shows, it was built for real-world missions. Japan didn't want a showpiece. They wanted a tool that could be used in dangerous moments when speed, size, and safety mattered most. So while other countries chase flight for combat or viral fame, Japan quietly made a jetpack with a different goal. It's not about power or glory, it's about control, survival, and helping people in crisis. That core purpose is what shaped every decision, from the frame to the software. And that's the real secret behind Project Yama's success. Extreme flight tests that went viral. Project Yama's first major demo was a flight straight through the heart of Tokyo. At sunrise, the pilot launched from a rooftop and glided smoothly between narrow city towers. He then hovered above a moving truck and touched down with perfect timing. Every second of the flight was captured with zero cuts, showing total control and accuracy. Within hours, the footage was trending worldwide across social platforms. The second test took place deep in a forest canyon outside of Nagano. The pilot maintained steady flight at 80 kilometers per hour while weaving through tall, uneven tree lines. Other jetpacks often struggle with side winds and drag in these tight areas, but Yama stayed centered. Its smart balance system adjusted thrust automatically to match sudden shifts in airflow. This flight was especially important. It proved the machine could handle real terrain, not just open air. Online reactions were fast and loud. People questioned if the video was real, with many calling it CGI because of how smooth the flight looked. Engineers posted breakdowns online, showing frame by frame how the jetpack adjusted in midair. Aerial experts noted the machine's ability to hold angles without overcorrecting or wobbling. Compared to past flight videos, this one looked cleaner, calmer, and more advanced. One test focused on a real-world application, a rescue drill in an urban training zone. The pilot lifted off with a 20-kilogram dummy strapped to a harness and flew into a narrow alley blocked off by debris. Using low-speed hover, he navigated the tight space and dropped the dummy at a designated recovery zone. The entire flight took less than 3 minutes. It proved the pack could carry light payloads and stay stable in rescue situations. In contrast, a comparison video of a Chinese prototype flying at low altitude went viral for the wrong reasons. In the clip, the jetpack veered off its path due to wind interference and crash-landed moments later. While no one was hurt, the clip showed the limitations of unrefined systems. Yama's control software handled similar environments with no manual correction needed. The difference between the two flights was clear and hard to ignore. Japanese TV channels quickly picked up the story. News anchors explained the tech behind the jetpack, while families at home watched with excitement. Kids pointed at the screens, seeing not just a machine, but a new dream. In a culture known for valuing quiet excellence, the jetpack was being embraced as a real achievement. Unlike the West, where jetpacks are often seen as luxury toys, Japan viewed them as a national innovation. A small detail that stood out in testing was the pilot's biometric tracking system. During each flight, sensors in the suit tracked heart rate, stress levels, and muscle strain. Data showed that even during high-speed turns or low hover, the pilot stayed calm and steady. This proved that the design wasn't just advanced, it was comfortable and human-friendly. That's rare in personal flight technology, and it added even more credibility to the system's success. Japan's jetpack won't drop bombs, it'll save lives. And now, the world is racing to catch up. The future is personal flight. With Project Yama now out in the open, experts say personal flight is entering a new era. By 2030, hybrid jetpacks could become a standard tool in mountainous countries like Japan, Norway, and Switzerland. These places often face terrain challenges where helicopters can't land and ground access is slow. Jetpacks that are light, quiet, and precise could respond faster in rescue situations. From cliff rescues to remote medical aid, personal flight isn't science fiction anymore. It's becoming practical. One of the most promising areas is mountain rescue. Jetpacks could allow medics to fly directly to injured climbers instead of hiking for hours. In cities, firefighters could use them to reach high-rise floors when elevators or ladders fail. In coastal nations, small island-to-island deliveries of supplies or medicine could be done faster and cheaper than by boat or helicopter. These commercial applications could become everyday use cases within the next 5 to 7 years. But the real tension is around defense. Once a machine can carry a person into hard-to-reach places, military planners take notice. So far, Japan is blocking any weaponization of Project Yama, citing Article 9 of its constitution, which renounces war. Dr. Kimura, the project's lead, made his stance clear. We built this to help. If it becomes a weapon, we failed. That line has helped protect the vision, but pressure is growing globally. Already, the jetpack race is heating up again. Elon Musk shared a short video of the Yama flight on his Twitter feed, calling it impressive. The Chinese government has quietly launched a new startup accelerator focused only on jetpack-related technologies. In the US, DARPA has opened new funding for AI flight control systems to power next-generation solo flight gear. The competition is now wider than ever, and no one wants to be left behind. One surprising new development adds another layer to Japan's lead. Engineers have begun testing jetpack swarm protocols, a system where multiple AI-controlled jetpacks fly together in formation. These packs communicate in real time to avoid mid-air collisions and can coordinate movements like a flock of birds. No other country has openly demonstrated anything similar. This could allow for coordinated missions in search and rescue, delivery, or even emergency evacuations. It's a feature that turns individual flight into intelligent group mobility. Meanwhile, Japan is continuing to test Project Yama in more environments. Future upgrades may include voice-assisted control, auto-landing protocols, and heat-sensing navigation for night missions. The goal is to make it easy enough for trained responders to fly without years of training. That's what will make it useful, not just cool. The final test flight shown to the public featured a simple but powerful image. A lone pilot hovered above Mount Fuji at sunrise, drifting slowly in the quiet morning air. No crowd, no noise, just one person is in full control of the sky. And that's what makes Project Yama stand out. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Click on the next video popping up on your screen for more amazing content.